Welcome to the RVCC podcast, where we want to help you grow in your faith, lead your family, and influence your workplace. Hey, I'm Kevin Moore, your host, as well as the director of RV Community for Christ. So glad that you're hanging out with us today. Today, we're going to get right to it with this thought. Your workplace is your mission field. You ever thought about that? I'm sure you have as a Christian. If you're listening to this and you're a Christian, I'm sure you have thought about that your workplace is a mission field. And today, what we want to do is we want to give you some practical tips for living out your faith. The truth of the matter is your workplace is not separate from your faith. So many times we try and compartmentalize our life, but that's not how it works. Your workplace is not separate from your faith. It's one of the primary places that God has called you to live out your faith. Every day, you spend more time at work than what you do at home while awake. You may spend more time at home, but you're sleeping a lot of those hours. We spend so many hours a day at work, and every day that you walk into the plant, you walk into the office, you walk into that dealership, you walk onto that job site, wherever you are stepping into your personal mission field. This is what Scripture says in Colossians 3:23. And whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. When you show up at work, you are not working for human masters. You are working for the Lord. This is your mission field. You're surrounded by people who need the hope that you have. They need to experience the story that you have experienced of being saved and redeemed and changed by Jesus. And today what I want to do is just give you some practical tips, some thoughts that hopefully you can build on. Hopefully will challenge you to treat your workplace for what it is. One of the primary places that God has called you to live out your faith. So here we go. Here's the first thought. Here's the first point. I want you to see your workplace as your mission field. See your workplace as a mission field. A lot of Christians spend years waiting for some ministry opportunity, all the while walking past one every single day. So many times we wait for this big ministry idea, this big ministry opportunity, and then we go to work the next day and we fail to realize this is our ministry opportunity. God has strategically placed you right where you are, and He's put the people around you that quite honestly might never attend your particular church, but they see your life every day. They don't hear your pastor's sermon right now. They don't, go to your kids' ministry right now. They don't go to your church right now, but you know what they do? They do see your life every single day. Your job is not a paycheck. Your job is a platform. Ooh, that'll preach. Your job is not a paycheck. Your job is a platform. It's a platform for you to show the goodness of Jesus, but you've got to see your workplace as a mission field. So here's a question or two. Who are the people that God has placed around you right now? As I was talking about that, people and mission, and you already had people come to your mind. Who are the people that God has placed around you right now? And what opportunities do you already have right now to do ministry, right now to influence others? Don't ask, why am I here? Ask, who am I here for? Who am I here for today? You know why you're there. You're there. You're going to make widgets and sell things and build things. Yes, but who are you here for? See your workplace as a mission field. The second thought that I want to give you, a principle or a point, is your character is your loudest sermon. The character of who you are is the loudest sermon you are ever going to speak. Before people listen to what you say, they watch how you live. You know that from experience. Before you listen to what someone says, you watch who they are. You watch how they live. Integrity, humility, honesty, kindness, consistency, all those things, those are the things that open the door for the gospel. Way more than words. Integrity, honesty, consistency, being great at what you do, that opens the door. That opens the door for you to show the goodness of Jesus. Matthew 5 says, Jesus says in Matthew 5, let your light so shine before others that they see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. When people see that you are good, that your good deeds of integrity, of humility, that you are honest, that you are consistent, that you are kind, they're going to be looking to, how is this possible? And they're going to start to see God, because those are God's characteristics. God is humble. God is honest. God is kind. God is consistent. And when you have those characteristics, you are preaching who God is just by how you live. People are looking, I'm convinced of it, people are looking for someone who's different. I don't think they're looking for someone who's perfect, but they're looking for someone who's different, someone who's authentic, someone who has integrity. So let me ask you a couple questions. Your character right now, how has it been impacting those around you? If people were to ask, if I was to ask some people you work with and say, tell me about so-and-so, would they say, boy, that he's so humble, he's so honest, he's so consistent? What sort of character or characteristics would people say about you right now? And with that in mind, what maybe is a character that needs most attention for you? Because people are watching. People are going to watch how you live well before they listen to what you say. Here's the third thought. Here's the third point. Build relationships. Build relationships before you share the truth. Listen, we need to share the truth, but build relationships before you do. Jesus, when you look at the life of Jesus, Jesus often connected with people before he corrected them. Jesus connected with people before he preached to them. And many believers, we as believers and as Christians, because we have the right answer inside of us, Jesus, we feel this pressure to have all the right answers, to know the right things to say, to speak the right words. And instead of focusing on just building genuine relationships. Jesus built relationships. He listened. He served. He encouraged. He cared. And he also shared the truth of the kingdom. The physical always precedes the supernatural. Jesus came down to the earth physically, died on the cross, and then supernaturally something happened. When you look at the Old Testament, if you know this story, the prophet, when he called fire down from heaven, this was a very supernatural thing that happened. But before that, there was something very physical. He had to physically stack the stones and physically cut the wood and physically butcher the calf, and physically they poured water. They did the physical, and that physical set up the supernatural. It's the same way in your workplace. Build that physical relationship, and that will set up the supernatural to happen. Here's just some practical ways. This isn't rocket science. You're not going to hear this and say, oh my goodness, Kevin, I can't believe you thought of that. Here's some practical ways. Learn your coworkers' names. Ask about their families. Know the details of their family. Celebrate their wins. If you get the opportunity, let them know you're praying for them. Maybe even pray for them right then. You be the person who encourages. You be the encourager. And here's a big one. Always leave people better than when you found them. With every conversation, with every meeting, you leave people better than what you found them. Leave people feeling more loved, more valued, more important than when you started talking to them. Build relationships before you share the truth, because the physical always sets up the supernatural. Here's number 4. We got number 4, we got number 5. Stick with me here. These last two are big. Look for opportunities to just share your story. Your workplace is a mission field. So because of that, look for opportunities to share your story. As you are being a person of integrity, as you are building relationships, don't be afraid to lean in and share your story. Listen, you don't need a theology degree to tell people what Jesus has done for your life. You don't need to go to Bible college to just tell people what Jesus has done for your life. Your testimony is powerful. Think about the blind man in the Bible in John chapter 9. He was blind, Jesus healed him, and then he could see. People asked him what happened, and this is what he said. I don't really know. All I know is I was blind and now I see. I was blind and now I see. It's just that simple. You can't argue with somebody's story. People can't argue with your story. So you can share what your life was before you knew Christ. You can share how you came to know him. You can share what he's done for you. And a very easy way to do this that I have found personally is just simply this statement. Before I knew Jesus, I was blank, but now I am blank. Before I knew Jesus, I was confused, but now, man, I'm confident in who I am. I'm confident in my life. Before I knew Jesus, I felt so guilty, but now I am free. Just share your story. Before I knew Jesus, I was, but now that I know Jesus, I am. It's just that simple. But it starts with being a person of integrity, getting to know them, getting to know them personally, and then looking for opportunities to share your story. And as you do this, as you do these things, as you see your workplace as a mission field, as you become a person of integrity, as you build relationships, and as you share your story, the last thing is this. This is massive. Just trust God with the results. Just trust God with the results. You're a go-getter, and you want things to you want to work and see things accomplished. And the same thing can happen when it comes to in sharing our faith or wanting someone to come to Christ, is we feel this need. We feel responsible for actually changing people, but we can't change people. That's God's job. Our responsibility is one thing: faithfulness. Be faithful in seeing your work as a mission field. Be faithful in being a person of integrity. Be faithful in knowing people and loving them personally. Be faithful in sharing your story. And then you know what? Let God do the rest. The Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 3, he said, I planted the seed, Apollos watered it, but it was God that made it grow. When you are living your life this way, some people may respond immediately. Other people may take years. That's not for you to decide. That's not for you to force. Your job is to see your workplace as a mission field. Your job is to be a person of integrity. Your job is to build relationships. Your job is to share your story. And it's God's job to change their life. It's just that simple. So let me ask you a question, just a couple questions. Is there someone in your workplace that you've given up on? You thought, man, I've tried, and they're just not coming. Is there somebody that you've given up on? What if you don't give up on them? How can you remain faithful without becoming discouraged? How can you remain faithful without becoming discouraged? And what would happen if you trusted God more with the results? What would happen? Listen, your workplace is a mission field. So because of that, I want to give you a closing challenge. This week, ask yourself 3 questions every day. 3 questions every day. Who can I encourage today? Who can I serve today? Who can I pray for today? Ask yourself 3 questions every day. Who can I serve today? Who can I encourage today? Who can I pray for today? Because your workplace is more than a job. It's more than a paycheck. It's your platform. It's your mission field. And God made you who you are. God placed you where you are for a purpose, a plan, and his purpose. So tomorrow morning, listen, I don't know you, whether you're building an RV, working on online, offline, whether you're managing a team, driving a truck, running a business, I don't know, serving a customer. Just remember, your workplace is your mission field. Jesus said in John chapter 20, verse 21, as the Father has sent me, so I am sending you. Today, Jesus is sending you into your mission field. And may God be with you as you go. Hey, it's always wonderful hanging out with you on the podcast. I really hope that you will listen to this again. You will begin to apply it. And then also share this link with a friend. Spread this around. Don't be a stingy leader. Don't be a stingy Christian. Share this podcast with others. Hey, God bless. Looking forward to speaking with you next time.